Hi guys. Today I want to talk about eating to the hunger scale, but finding that you, for some reason, end up eating more most of the time. So what I find what I'm addressing are people who eat when they are hungry. So they've eliminated eating without hunger. However, once they're hungry and they eat, they tend to eat more than necessary. Not too much. Like if you were to use the hunger scale, they don't eat to like an 8 or a 9, but they're going to like a 7, maybe a 7.5. So they're going about 2.5 to 2 points higher than they probably should. And they're aware of it, right? This is not the case for if you get too hungry and you eat really fast. It's a kind of unavoidable if you eat really fast and you're too hungry to go, to where you stop at that 5, maybe 5.5, and you end up at like a 7 because you ate so fast that you were unaware. What I'm talking about is people who are enjoying their food. No shame, no guilt, no, diet fear, and they still end up going to that 7.5. What I've found through observation is that many people do that. Many people do that who have spent years binging and dieting. So I see this more commonly with people who finally broken free from the binge mentality. So with the people I work with, the clients I work with, the funny thing is I've had like 4 people in the last 2 days have the same exact scenario. They work with me to start so they'll stop binging. Some of these people have been binging for decades. We give them freedom from shame and guilt. We give them, don't have to lose weight, and they don't binge anymore, right? So they get this freedom they've never experienced, or a freedom they haven't experienced since childhood. And what happens is they become afraid to diet. They actually say, you know what, if I diet again, if I start to want even to lose weight, I know I'm going to start binging again. So they tend to lean a little far to the left or to the right. So they start to lean a little bit. So they are trying to avoid anything that feels in any way like a diet. So it's kind of like saying, if we looked at the hunger scale, if we looked at 5 on the hunger scale, that's the nothingness being a 0, and then hunger being on the left side of 0 being the -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and then the plus side of 0 being satiation, which would be +1, +2, +3. They don't want to feel deprived. So what they are doing is eating more to make sure they don't feel deprived. What I find is if I ask them, okay, eat to hunger then, go to the 5.5, what would that feel like if you don't go to the 7.5? All 4 people that I talked to the last couple of days that were in this specific environment said it would feel like deprivation. So they're staying at that 7 because it's protecting them from feeling like it's a diet. So you could say the pendulum swing still exists, but it's not so severe. So that's progress. Absolutely. But then what would it take for them to be truthful to themselves and hold themselves accountable to 3.5 to 5.5? What would it take for them to be able to eat there and not feel deprived? And what people have said and what I'm seeing is they say, well, okay, I can eat to 3.5 to 5.5, but my fear is that I will feel, because I feel deprived, I'm going to start demanding a weight loss. So I'm afraid if I go into that zone, I'll feel deprived and want to feel validated through weight loss. So if they can edge themselves to a 5.5 to a 7.5 on the backside of hunger, then they won't feel so demanding of weight loss. They won't expect weight loss. That keeps them safe from binging. So the question I pose in that situation is, if it's impossible to lose weight, like if you playing a mind game, if it was impossible, like literally impossible to lose weight, however, it's possible to gain weight. Number one, if it's impossible to lose weight, then would you reinforce a diet? Would you submit yourself to a diet restriction? Well, no, that doesn't make any sense, right? Because you're not trying to deprive the body, so it doesn't make sense to reinforce a diet. But if you could gain, would you still go to that 7.5? All 4 people, look at those nails, lovely. All 4 people said, oh, okay, well, I certainly would not deprive myself if there was no way to fix the weight. However, if there was the possibility of gain, I wouldn't go to the 7.5. So what that makes me aware of as an observer is that potentially, I could be wrong, the 7.5, they're giving themselves lenience there because they believe that if there is gain, they do believe that they can lose it. When you pose the question that there's no possible way to lose weight, however, you could gain, all of a sudden, that extra 2 points, right, the 5.5 to 7.5, that plus 2 from 0, doesn't make any sense. They just wouldn't do it. So how then do we take a severe diet binge eater, get them to stay, keep away from the diet mentality, which is why they're binging, right? The sense of deprivation, feeling entitled, arguments, blah, blah, blah. How do you keep them safe in the center without feeling vulnerable to entitling weight loss, right? So, gosh, this is fun, what I'm doing. I don't know about you, but being able to observe people, once they've given up the diet matrix, I do know this. Once you give up the diet matrix, you're not going to binge anymore. However, if you've been in the diet matrix, you might have conditioned an emotional need for food that wouldn't have been there otherwise. So that might still be residual. So what I also found in talking is that sometimes the issue is coming from a relationship with food emotionally that was developed because of the diet framework. So they still might feel the urge to eat, and then they give themselves that lenience to add 2 points to the hunger scale. So instead of stopping at a 5.5 or 6, they're stopping at a 7.5 or 7. I'll take it. That's improvement. However, if the goal is to be able to eat to hunger without entitlement to weight loss, that's what I've repeated a bazillion friggin' times in Weight Loss Apocalypse. Can you eat to hunger without needing to reward yourself with weight loss? That's the goal. If you're eating more than what's necessary, why would you feel entitled? to loss if you're just eating balanced in the center. So it's not always extreme. Sometimes it's actually very subtle, these issues. Anyways, that's it. Have a good day.